Now that I have the drainage area 3, the next step is to place the structure for that. And again, using my drainage area definition dialog, I'll go back to the definitions option and I'll just select the edit node icon, which will in turn bring up the add a new node dialog. Click OK, and now I can add node 3. Just as before, I'm going to go ahead and add the same type of structure. Let me zoom into that. Same type of structure, but this time is when I set it tangent on element, I'm going to select the gutter line, which is right here where the low point is. So the low point is not the edge of pavement this time, it's actually a gutter here. I'll select that and accept it. And then I'll locate that along the gutter line. Next is the spread information. And I could go ahead and modify the spread cross slope or leave it the same. For example, if I want to include the gutter, then I would add another entry here to the width. I would go 1.5 with a 3% cross slope and add that to the list. And that way, so my spread section would have two different entries in the table. So your spread section can be as elaborate as you need it to be. And again, you have other options here. You can use a library item, a shape, if you had shapes, and a shape and a library item. In our case, we don't have shapes. Or a reference surface, and that reference surface would project back from where you located your structure, and it would go uphill and give you the as far as it could go in the various cross slopes and so forth. So in our case, I want to use user supplied. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to 50 with a 2% cross slope and a Manning's roughness value of 0.012, and add that to my list. Ponded depth, ponded width, I'll leave the same. The elevations are going to be the same. Settings as before. Junction losses, discharge will be the same as well. So I'll go ahead and apply that. And real quick, I'll check the computations, and I can see that indeed it's got its total ponded width, the spread, and all that calculated. Back at the node dialog, I'm going to add one more node. But this time it's not going to be part of a drainage area. It's going to be more of a manhole or a junction. So my node type will change. So let me zoom out a little bit. And I'm going to place a manhole over on the northern end of my access road. So I'm just going to zoom into that location here. And we're going to add a new node. So again, without closing the node configuration dialog, click Add Node, Catch Basin 4, click OK, and we'll start with the Properties tab. Now in this case, the node type I'm going to change from curb to junction. The profile option will gray out, and I'll get a list of my available junctions that I have from my drainage library. I'll choose the 4x4 junction, which is a rectangular manhole. I'm going to locate it. I'm going to locate it along the back of curb. So I can say tangent on element, select the back of curb, and I can slide it or select to place it along there. Or maybe just tangent to element in this case, so it stays tangent to the back of curb, but I can locate it offset from the back of curb. So notice the difference between tangent to and tangent on. So go ahead and data point behind the back of curb. If I need to rotate it, I can rotate it at this point. So if I want to flip it around 180, type in 180, click apply, and of course that will change it to the other side. There's no spread, there's no computations for a junction, there's no discharge options for a junction. So basically in this case we just need to set the elevations, which are going to stay the same as before, and of course if you want to compute junction losses for this structure you can. But there's no capacity calculations performed on the junction. And then finally, the next thing I want to place, again zooming back out a little bit, is I want to place a outlet structure. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom to the location where I propose to place the outlet structure, and we'll tackle that.